Grandpa Poe's traveled over a lot of the world. We're going to see if we have had a previous connection. Maybe we didn't even realize it, but we're going to see if we can find that out today. Grandpa Poe liked airplanes. Grandpa Poe went to work for another airline. And here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Isn't that a beauty? Do you know what this is? This is a 747 made by Boeing. And it was operated by Northwest Airlines. And all the Northwest Airlines had a great big red tail. A great big red tail. Grandpa Poe went to work originally as a mechanic, and then he became a supervisor, and then he became a superintendent, and then a manager, and then a director. And he eventually became an executive. And when he did, he was granted a certificate that said he was a director. Have you ever received a certificate? And one day, they took Grandpa Poe's picture and put it on the front of a magazine. Isn't that funny? And during those years, Grandpa Poe made a lot of friendships with a lot of people from all over the world. These are pictures of men who represented airlines from all over the world. From Europe, France, Germany, Italy, Norway, Sweden, down to Africa, to South Africa, down to South America, to Argentina, Brazil, and over in the Orient to Japan and Korea and the Philippines. These are all representatives from all those airlines. Do you live in one of those countries? I probably didn't name them all, but there's a representative from almost every one of the countries that had a national airline. And sitting over here in this corner right here is Grandpa Poe. He was one of them, and they took this picture of all of those people. And that's what Grandpa Poe did. And he traveled to all those countries. All of those countries. So, I didn't name them all, but I have been to almost every country in the world. And I may have been to your country, and we were connected and didn't even realize it. Okay, Grandpa Poe needs another little sip. Maybe you'd like to go and get a sip too. Very good. Did you get a sip too? Yeah. All right. Now, because Grandpa Poe had developed a relationship with these other airlines all over the world, Grandpa Poe had the opportunity to go to those airlines and visit. And almost every country in the world was represented. So Grandpa Poe had the very unique opportunity to travel to many, many countries. And I might have been to your country, and we're connected from way back, and we're just now realizing it. Isn't that nice? And isn't it interesting? All right, now, just as an example of one of the countries that Grandpa Poe had to go to, and he took his wife with him, is this picture right here. Do any of you recognize that picture? I'll bet some of you do. Grandpa Poe is going to ask you, what language would you have spoken in this country? And the language is French. So where would this be? If you spoke French, where would this be? It's in France. And this particular picture is in Paris. Where do you think that might be in Paris? Do you recognize any of this? Well, there's a very unique thing out in the courtyard in front of this building. And it's a glass pyramid. There. Maybe you can see it a little better. That's Grandpa Poe and Grandma Poe. There. And that is a museum called the Louvre. Have you ever been to the Louvre? If you live in France, you probably, your mother or father or grandma have been to the Louvre. It is a very famous place. What is in the Louvre? Here is one of the most famous paintings. Let Grandpa Poe hold this up better so you can see it. This is one of the most famous paintings in the Louvre. It is called the Mona Lisa, and it was painted by Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. Here is another one. This is a picture of a young girl, and it is painted by Vermeer. And it is also in the Louvre. All right. Okay. My children and grandchildren, did we have fun today? Didn't we have fun? Did you find Grandpa's stories interesting? I hope so. I hope I didn't bore you. If I didn't mention your country today, please don't worry and don't feel bad, because Grandpa Poe will do many more of these things, talking to you about different things and different places and things that might be of interest to you. And so you stay tuned in, because if you didn't hear your country mentioned before or your place mentioned before, it may come in the future, because there's going to be more of these. Won't that be fun?